video. My name is Ellie. I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker, and this year in 2024 I thru-hiked almost 2,000 kilometers with my rescue dog Otto. And in this video I want to show you my 7 favorite gear items that I used this year and that I'm very happy with. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I have a quick little favor to ask you, because most of you have already seen it on my community post, but our channel, Otto and I, have actually been nominated for the Great Outdoors Magazine Reader Awards, which is such a huge honor, and I'm so grateful for each and everyone who apparently nominated us, because yeah, we got on the short list, and I'm so happy. And if you're watching this video the day it goes live, you have still a couple of hours to vote for us. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. The voting closed on December 15th, so we still have a couple of hours. Thank you so much to everyone who voted for us already. And if you enjoyed the channel, it just takes a few minutes to vote, and yeah, Otto and I would be very grateful. Let's get into the video now. First off, I want to clarify that everything that I'm showing in this video is not sponsored. I bought everything with my own money, so yeah, I'm just going to give my honest opinion on gear that I bought, gear that I tried this year. And second, I want to start off by saying that I'm not really a gear testing channel. I don't buy a lot of different gear just to test it, but instead I'm always looking for the best gear that suits my needs, Otto's needs, and gear that works for us on our thru hikes. So that being said, I don't own a lot of gear. I don't buy new gear all the time, but instead I'm trying to find the perfect tent, perfect backpack, whatever it is, for my needs, for our hikes. And if I found something, I'm usually just sticking with it if I'm happy with it, and if it doesn't get damaged or broken, I will just keep using that. So this is the reason why there usually isn't a lot of change in my gear or in my hiking equipment, so to say. Most of the stuff that I'm using, I've used for several years. Everything is pretty dialed in, so there's not a lot of change. But obviously there's still things that I'm adding to my gear, or changes, or if I don't feel like I have found the perfect whatever yet, I'm going to try new things. So this is not an entire gear video. I'm just going to talk about things that I added to my gear list this year, and things that worked out great for me, things that I loved. Some things were even a game changer. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about new things. But I've made a similar video last year. If you want to go back, I think I'm going to link it up here or down below in the description. You can just go back, because most things that I've talked about there, if I'm not talking about the same item like a rain jacket in this video, it just means that I basically still using the same things that I've used last year. And you can also find my current lighter pack gear list in the description down below. So I'm just going to talk about things that have been new, things that have surprised me for some reason. Just bigger changes to my kit, but that doesn't mean that I'm not happy with the rest of my gear. Obviously, it just means that it hasn't changed that much, or is basically still the same as last year. If we start by categories of gear, obviously the first off would be the big 4: tent, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, and the backpack. And I didn't make any changes to the sleeping pad and my quilt. I'm still very happy with my Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite. I didn't have to replace it. There were no holes, nothing, and same for my quilt. I'm so happy. It was my favorite piece of gear in my last video last year, and yeah, it's still the same. There are no holes, nothing, just works perfectly. It's so warm, and yeah, so very happy with it. Same for the tent. I still used for most of my hikes this year the Durston X-Mid 1. Still very happy with it. I added more guy lines to make it a bit more stable. I fixed some smaller pinholes with some liquid silicone, and yeah, that worked really well. The tent didn't let me down once on my hikes this year. But that being said, just a little sneak peek, there might be a new tent on the horizon. As you can see, I didn't even open the box yet. It just arrived a few days ago. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. If you're in the Durston gear world, ultralight hiking world, you probably know what it is, but there will be maybe a change in my tent situation. I haven't tried it yet, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to take a new tent on a first walk, on a first try very, very soon. For the last item of the big four, the backpack, I've made a change this year and I switched from the Osprey Air that I used last year, which is my old backpack that I've had for years. And I also tried the ULA Ohm 2.0 last year that didn't really work for me. I don't know if it was the wrong size or it was the like shape of the shoulder straps. I don't know why, but it just didn't work out. It gave me bruising. It wasn't very comfortable. So in the beginning of this year, I switched to the Durston Kakwa 55 liters, and I've used this pack for all my hikes, so almost 2,000 kilometers, as I said, this year. And what can I say? I'm very, very, very happy with it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's no wear and tear in the material. It held up perfectly. I really like the design. It's a framed pack. It has load lifters, which is really important for me. It worked really well. The only two modifications that I made that were really useful for me were that I added like shock cord straps to the bottom of the pack, basically just to attach my closed cell phone mat for Otto that he uses. And I added the CPEX lumbar pad to the back. It just slides over the hip belt. It worked very, very well. There's no wear and tear, just nothing. And for me personally, I really like the design of the pocket. There's one smaller one that's easy to have quick access, for example, for my camera. Then there's one longer one for hiking poles, tent poles, so that they don't fall out. I like the mesh pocket. The padding in the shoulder straps, for example, is still very soft and comfy. It didn't wear out a lot. The pack isn't waterproof entirely, but it's pretty water resistant in my experience. If it's raining really heavily, obviously the material will absorb some of the water and become a bit damp. So I always use that with a Nylofume pack liner on the inside, but yeah, didn't have any issues. And when it comes to the size, as I said, this is the 55 liter version. I'm really happy with it. I think it's very spacious and I didn't have any issues putting all my gear in. It's very easy to pack because it has more of a rectangular shape and you can just stack things, different dry bags very easily. Most of the time I don't pack my tent inside but strapped to the top part of the tent. So obviously you have a bit more space on the inside if you're doing it that way. But yeah, didn't have any issues. I think it's very spacious. If I would be on my own, even more so. Even in winter conditions, when I had more gear, I could fit everything in. So yeah, really, really happy with the capacity. The only two things, but obviously there's always a compromise between space and weight and price and everything. What I didn't really use were the shoulder strap pockets, maybe just for putting in my sunglasses here and there, but I didn't really use that. And the second thing is the back part. I'm not really sweating a lot when I'm hiking usually, but still obviously there's no ventilation on the back, which could be an issue for some people, or yeah, it's not. Obviously there's always a compromise, as I said. The Osprey Air is way more ventilated, but for me honestly it wasn't a big issue, but just that yeah, maybe this tiny little thing that would make the pack even more perfect. But for the rest, I'm really happy with it. It carried heavier loads really comfortably. For me, honestly, it's the most comfortable pack I've had in years. Honestly, it didn't give me bruising, nothing. And even if I carried multiple days worth of food for me and for Otto, sometimes I think I carried close to 18-19 kilograms with water and everything. And it was still comfortable. Didn't give me bruising. It was, yeah, for me, it was the perfect pack. So I'm definitely going to stick with it and I'm going to use it for next year as well. So no need to change anything here. And then for the next category, my clothes, I didn't, as I said in the beginning, didn't make a lot of changes. I'm still mostly using the same hiking shirt, hiking shorts, shoes, as I did last year. Still happy with all of that. But if you watched my video last year, I had some issues with my rain jacket last year, which was only a 2 or 2.5, can't remember, layer jacket. The laminated part on the inside just, yeah, became loose and it wasn't really waterproof anymore. So for this year, I upgraded to a 3-layer jacket. I chose the Patagonia Storm 10. It fit me really well, and it's still very lightweight. It weighs 230 grams. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. If you've watched my videos, you saw that we had a lot of rain this year, and I really put it to the test, I feel like, and I'm very happy with it. Honestly, yeah, it's a really great fit. It didn't let me down once, so yeah, really happy with it. So I'm not going to change anything here either. For the second item in the clothing section, clothing category, I've added something very new to my personal kit list this year, and that is insulation pants. I've never used them on any hikes before. I just wore like base layers and just layered up those. I got some insulation pants from Creme Expert, the same company that also made my quilt. They're a Slovenian brand. Handmade, made to order in the EU. So if you're ordering them in Europe, obviously there are no taxes or anything, and shipping is really quick and easy. Never occurred to me to use them. I don't know why. Maybe because a lot of insulation pants are made from down, and I want to avoid down. So this is with an apex filling, so a synthetic filling, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. They obviously look a bit funny because they're quite wide, obviously, but I've used them on all my winter hikes, and I will definitely keep using them because they're just so comfortable. If you get to camp, just to put them over, if you're cold, if you're wet, obviously since it's a synthetic material, it will still keep you warm even if it's a bit wet or damp. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy that I discovered them. These really have been a game changer for me. They are really lightweight. I think they just weigh 50 grams, I think, and they pack down like really small. These have definitely been a game changer, and I will keep using them for my winter hikes. For the next category, which is cooking and food, I've made 2 changes to my gear. They're not big changes, obviously, but yeah, I'm really happy about these new items that I found or that I started using. I switched from my C2 Summit X cup to the C2 Summit Frontier cup, I think this is called. There was no real need except for that the X cup isn't really like that stable, and it isn't very big. It only holds, I think, 230 milliliters. And this one, the Frontier cup, as you can see, it's not only made from silicone, but it has like the gray areas. They're really more of a sturdy plastic material. It only weighs 9 grams more than the X cup, but it holds 150 milliliters more. So yeah, this is really perfect because oftentimes when I made a coffee in the morning or a tea, only have a small cup, you drink it very quickly and then it's gone. But with the bigger cup, I really enjoyed having a bit more coffee, a bit more tea in the morning. So yeah, it's just not a big game changer, but I really enjoyed having this bigger cup. The second thing that I started using this year was clear protein. Because if you've watched a couple of our videos, you know that I don't eat meat or dairy. I'm vegan, so I always try getting enough protein in, obviously, which can be, if you're on the trail, maybe can be a bit harder to get enough protein. So this has been a nice game changer for me because you can just easily add protein. I used to carry protein powder last year as well, like flavored protein powder, but oftentimes it just has this like not the best consistency. It's not that easy to drink. You're feeling like full instantly, or the flavors are not really great. I don't know, it just didn't really work for me. I didn't use it that much and just ended up carrying like little bags of protein powder. But this year I switched to clear protein. There are a lot of different brands and flavors and everything. There are a lot of vegan brands as well. Just mix it in water. It tastes really well, like a lemonade. And yeah, this really helped me to get a bit more protein in, and yeah, really worth it for me, in my opinion. Then for the next category, which is electronics, I didn't change a lot there neither. So I'm still using the same power bank that I showed you last year. I'm still very, very happy with it. It's still the same one. I didn't change anything. But I've added something to my kit this year, which is the Flextail Zero Pump. Basically, as you can see, it's a really tiny, lightweight pump to inflate or deflate your sleeping pad. I wasn't really sure if if it would make a lot of difference for me, but I really loved it. I took it on all my hikes. It only weighs, like the pump itself with the battery only weighs 51 grams. And then there are a lot of different adapter things depending on your brand of sleeping pad that you can just add. For example, this is the one for my Thermarest sleeping pad. So this tiny thing only weighs 61 grams, and this was a real game changer for me, honestly, because it's just so easy. When you get to camp, you don't have to blow into your sleeping pad to inflate it, which also helps obviously to prevent moisture getting trapped in your sleeping pad. But instead you can just connect the pump and just push the button, and then it will do its thing. And same with deflating. I didn't use it that much for deflating my pad because I only have a small Thermarest, and it just the air goes out really quickly if I just roll it up. But if you have a bigger pad, or if it's hard to like fold it, get all the air out, this will help as well. So yeah, really happy with that. The battery lasts really long. I think I've used it for 20 nights of inflating my pad 20 times before I had to recharge the battery. So yeah, really happy with that. This would also make a great Christmas gift maybe for someone who's into hiking, backpacking. So yeah, if you're interested in the Zero Pump, I'm going to put a link in the description down below, and there's also a discount code Elli15. I'm going to link it down as well in case you want to buy the Zero Pump or anything else. There are other pumps and other devices as well. So yeah, definitely check out that. And last but not least, the last item that I changed and that make a lot of difference for me personally. And maybe that's not relevant to everyone, but in case you're also hiking and vlogging your hikes or making little videos, maybe that's interesting for you as well. I switched cameras this year. I switched from the GoPro Hero 9 to the DJI Osmo Action 4 that I started using in the beginning of this year. And I'm very happy with it. Honestly, it's been the best change that I think I've ever made to a camera, like from one camera to another. I don't know if that has changed with the new models. I'm not sure on that. But for the bit older ones, I think up to the Hero 12 at least, I think, you needed like an adapter to basically attach an external microphone, and I had a lot of issues with that. If you go back to my videos last year, the sound was a lot worse. Like obviously there's still, like when I'm out, the DJI Action 4, there's also like wind noise, obviously, in these things. But I feel like the audio quality is a lot better with this camera. I had a lot of issues with the GoPro, with the external microphone adapter that was broken inside. I had to get 2 replacements. And then you still have to attach the external microphone as well. And yeah, a lot of issues. And I had to buy a lot of add-ons, and still the sound wasn't great. The second thing, the biggest one for me personally, is the battery life of the GoPro. I carried spare batteries, obviously, but for most of the time, especially if it was a bit colder, I couldn't even like film one day with only just one battery. So I had to change batteries like in one day. It couldn't even last like 40-50 minutes of recording if it was cold. And I just did a bit of research before switching, and a lot of people were really happy with the DJI Action 4, and I can really see why, because it's so easy. You can just plug in an external microphone, the one with the cable. It's really easy. You don't need anything else, and the battery life is great. I can easily record one day, even more, with just one battery. The battery life is so much better. It charges really quickly. Really happy with that. Maybe not relevant, as I said, to everyone, but yeah, I thought I would just mention that as well, because I've had some messages saying that the audio quality is better this year than it was last year. So yeah, really happy with that. This is it for this video. Now I'm really curious to hear what new hiking gear you have added to your kit list this year, if there's any like bigger kit failures that you've had, or if you've found gear items that were a game changer for you. So definitely let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of hiking plans for next year. I'm currently planning the next few months, what I'm going to do. Definitely stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. I have so many hikes that I want to do, and so many ideas, so many projects. But for now, this is it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!